the film, then the public who's come to view the films are having a lovely time as well as a productive time. I am Melinda Dias and I represent the publicity wing of the Government of India. In this today's interaction with the press, I have with me Mr. Pierre Gill. He is a renowned cinematographer as well as a film and television director. Mr. Gill comes from Montreal in Canada and is closely associated with the cinema of Quebec. Through a very long career, Pierre Gill has collaborated with renowned film directors, some of them like Jean-Marc Vallée, Charles Bename, and Denis Villeneuve, working on many films. Some of these are like The Blacklist, The Art of War, and Upside Down. He has served as the second unit director of cinematography in the film Blade Runner 2049, once again directed by Villeneuve, which has won the Academy Award for Best Cinematography.
The mic? Oh, I have to press on this. There you go. You see, I'm cinematographer, but I know sound. Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the IFFI, ESG, and the government for inviting me here in India, a very warm, welcoming country. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure so far, and it will go on because every day is better. So yes, yesterday I had this master class. It was packed, and it was a beautiful, big room. I hope and I think people enjoyed it. I had many good comments so far. What's your question?
My question is what is the role that cinematography plays in a film?
Yes, and and all my passion about cinematography. Well, I think to work in any art form, it's a privilege. To work in filmmaking and television or any type of those media is a real privilege. My passion comes from creating images, but it's mostly coming from storytelling. So I think that what excites me the most is when I read a good story, a good script, and this is the only time actually that my creativity comes out, and it's a question that it's difficult to ask because it's always very abstract, because art is abstract, and it's very even if it's like very precise what we do, we have to come up with our emotions, and our emotions comes from really things we feel from, like I say, from the story and the script, and different stories, or it can be action-oriented or horror or sci-fi or whatever it is. Everybody has their own things they prefer, but for me it's really storytelling that is the most thing. So what it does to me, it makes me dream. I read a script, like I close my eyes and I try to imagine. I just imagine images as I read. And then once I finish reading, I'm trying to figure out how to bring these ideas into reality. And that's the really difficult part. On my side, I did a lot of stunts, explosion, the ship flying, underwater sequences. So a lot of things that is very, very long to do for a first unit, and it's very. That's why we have second unit, and you know about this. But and it was pretty big, so it's pretty fun. It was very fun, actually, because you end up playing with like very high-tech equipment, and so I call them toys, because of course it's your dream When you're young, you shoot films and you want to have this big crane or this flying shot. But we ended up having it. It's also nice because now with technology, there's drones. And we even use drones that are strong enough, capable of holding Arri Alexa with a master prime lens. So this is very heavy equipment. So it's amazing because we're at a point, I didn't know a few years ago I was going to be able to finally do shots flying that simple, because it used to be very complicated. We also use some cable cams to do flying shots because it's more precise, but that's very, 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 very expensive. It's crazy. Now, my relation, I don't know if I answer your question properly, but my relation also with Denis Villeneuve, I know him because I shot Polytechnique with him. We're very, very close. It was a very difficult film to do because it's a film about a guy shooting people in a school. It's a real story. It's a bad story. It's very sad that we do story about that. It should not exist, but that's the reality. Very sad. I've done a lot of period pieces in my career. I don't know why. It's the stars put me down to do a lot of period pieces. I've done like from the beginning of the Bible to the war and the everything. So the 1400 and 1200 and 1950 and. This is very fun to do, of course, because what's happening when you do this, since you work with usually beautiful costume designs and sets and a bigger crowd, and you learn a lot by doing that, because you have like it's technically more complex, but. Just, yes, if I answer your question, is more, I like to be able to work in many different aspects. If it's a variation and it keeps me healthy.
But which genre is more challenging?
It starts from how the director vision his movie first. And like I say, some directors have a very more visual idea. Some, like I say, they don't. So when they don't, it's okay. I make it with them, and we say at one point, I'm like, nah, we should stay far, because we want to observe what's happening. We don't want to be close to them, because it's better if the audience is making their decision about, is it good or is it bad. So it's so that's very very fine detail, but these details make a great film. Sorry, sometimes the director will tell you we're in his point of view. So we kind of follow the film in a way that we always reminding, okay, we're not in his point of view anymore. So this shot is not working. And a point of view doesn't mean a camera looking like this, like you think a point of view is like being with the actor, so it means usually you're close to your actor and you see stuff a bit further out. Then you feel you're in his point of view. It's like, like when the iPhone came in, it was the biggest revolution ever. It personally makes my life so much easier. But at the same time, it's a disaster, because you see now people, they walk on the street like that. And they don't talk to you, they go to a restaurant and they have their phone. It's a disaster. So technology is like that. So in film is the same. So there's tools that I love it. I'm just so excited about it. And I see people that use it in a bad way. So I think any advance in technology for filmmaking is good, I think, because it's also technical. Film is technical, it's not theater. It's like you need cameras, you need lights, you need all this. So, and now we have a lot of smaller cameras, like I was talking about the drones. And also, you know what's very cool? It's that now there's like very high professional cameras, like Panasonic. They have a VariCam. It's a new camera, and you can shoot with 5,000 ISO, which means you shoot at night and you see everything. And I'm talking about stills camera, which everybody knows you can take pictures at night, but that's not a picture. We're movie making. It's on a big screen, so you need more quality. And so this Panasonic camera is just outstanding, you know. It becomes frustrating because the only way to make really good exterior with digital, I'm talking really good, I know it's nice, you know, but I'm talking really good, is that you really have to control the light. So you have to be, the sun is too sidey. The sun has to be back, or it's too cloudy for this, it's gonna look like. And even my last movie, I was outside and was frustrated with this beautiful Venice and camera and all that. And it's a battle. And you cannot, the only way to do good exterior is to be very lucky and have the perfect weather. Because honestly, if you're not at the right place, it can look just video-ish.
On a bright day, but your experience, the best camera for exterior which you have done the film?
I think the Sony Venice, the last one, it's a new camera from Sony Venice. It's brand new. It's a new chip. That's why, because Sony, the F55, it looks very. I've used it on Casanova. It's great, but outside it's not good. The new Venice, it's not bad at all. The Alexa is good also, but I've never been very, very, very happy unless it's like a perfect like sunset with the backlight and all this. But if it's a normal day with clouds and it's a bit gray, it's difficult. You have to use filters. You have to, and post-production after you do in post, you try to make it work better.